Governor, I want to ask about an executive order that President Trump signed this week. He put Vice President Vance in charge of removing, quote, improper ideology from the Smithsonian Institution museums. And the order specifically calls out the African American History and Culture Museum. Now, you are the only black governor currently serving, only the third ever elected. What do you make of that order?
I just find it deeply disrespectful that their definition of making America great again is actually challenging some of the things that makes America great in the first place. That we are an ecosystem where we've invited people from all around the world to be part of this larger American journey. And loving your country does not mean lying about its history. Loving your country does not mean diminishing those who have helped to make this country so powerful and make America so unique in world history in the first place. And so we have got to put a core focus not on eliminating nor erasing history, but on lifting it up, on celebrating it, on understanding that the American mosaic is big and it's broad and it's beautiful. And that's one of the things that makes us so powerful, that I am standing here. I remember on my inauguration day, I actually started down at the docks in Annapolis, not just because it's beautiful. I started it there because that was one of this country's first and largest slave ports. And we had a wreath laying, and then we actually marched from the docks to the State House, where I was inaugurated as the first black governor of this of our state. And I explain to people, that's not indoctrination. That's history. It's a joint collective history, and it's one that we should be celebrating, talking about the history of this country, all parts of it, flaws and all, because that's what gives America strength, and that's what makes us move forward.
Governor, we're almost out of time. I do want to ask about the one-year anniversary this week. It's been a year since you and I spoke on this show after the tragic and deadly collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The Washington Post reported this week that lenient safety requirements and lax state oversight made the bridge and the workers there less safe. Does the state of Maryland bear any responsibility for the collapse and the lives lost?
You know, this past year, this past week, we did celebrate the year anniversary of one of the most tragic moments in our state's history, and we spent time with the 6 family members who lost people. We spent time with the first responders, and that was a crisis that happened solely because of the reckless behavior and the reckless operators of the Dali, who allowed a ship to leave knowing that that ship had faulty errors. And so I know that the NTSB, and we've been working very closely with the NTSB, where they first released a report in 1991 and then a report in 2009 explaining that there were close to 70 bridges around the country, to include the Golden Gate, to include the Brooklyn Bridge, that they said had capacity challenges. But the reason that we had to mourn those families is because of these reckless operators of the Dali and nothing else.
All right. Thank you. Oh, I do want to ask you one question before we go. I'm going to make a hard turn here. Are you ruling out a 2028 run for president?
I am not focused on anything except for making sure that this is Maryland's decade. No, and right now, we've actually just provided middle-class families a tax cut. That 94% of Maryland families are either going to get a tax cut or see no change in their taxes at all. That our economy is actually growing for the first time in a decade. And so I'm really proud of what Maryland is doing, and I'm focused on making sure we keep that progress going.
And that certainly sounds like something that would fit on a national platform campaign bumper sticker. Thank you so much, Governor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dana.
Up next, you heard Senator James Lankford.